Hey everybody, hope you're having a great day. Today's video is inspired by the countless hours that I spend on baseball-reference.com. I spent a lot of my free time on this website just because I wasn't popular in high school, and I stumbled upon Rollie Fingers' 1981 season where he won the Cy Young and the MVP in the same year as a reliever. It blows my mind. I think that's only been done 11 times in the history of baseball. Most recently, Clayton Kershaw in 2014, and then the most recent in the American League was Kate Upton's husband. So I thought, why isn't this talked about more? We hear about Sandy Koufax, we hear about Clayton Kershaw's. We don't really hear about Rollie Fingers, the big Cy Young and MVP, same year, same season, obviously. So I want to talk about the stats, go in month by month, because it's unreal. It really is. So, like I said, talking about the man, the myth, the mustache. I mean, look at this thing. It's one of the great, not only the greatest mustache in sports history, but in the history of man. So who was Rollie Fingers real quick? 17 seasons. He pitched for the Oakland A's mostly, some with the Padres, some with the Brewers, 7-time All-Star, 3-time World Series champion, World Series MVP, 4-time reliever of the year. I mean, the guy was the best. The guy pretty much, with the help of a few other pitchers, ushered in the closer role. Up until the 60s and 70s, starters usually just finished games. So when you move to the bullpen, you kind of think that's it. Rollie Fingers, he originally was a starter, but when he was moved to the bullpen, he thought, okay, my career is over. I'm done. You know, they think I'm bad. They think I'm trash. But no, he kind of defined the role as a closer where managers could feel comfortable with taking out their starters finally and putting in the guy to hold on to the save, hold on to the lead, and get the win for your ball club. So Rollie Fingers finishes his career with 341 saves. At the time, that was the most saves in baseball history, and inducted in the Hall of Fame in 1992. He was the only second reliever to be inducted so far, so I think that's crazy as well. So let's get into the actual season, the 1981 season that I'm going to be talking about in today's video. So how did Rollie Fingers get to the Brewers? That's the team he's playing for this year. He was traded to the Cardinals actually in 1980, in December of 1980, by the Padres. He was traded to the Cardinals. A few days later, the Cardinals just traded him to the Brewers. So that really burned the Cardinals because the Brewers, they kind of win the division, but this is a big reason why I don't think this season, this Rollie Fingers season, is talked about as much with the other people that have won a Cy Young and MVP in the same year. It was a strike season. So from June 12th to July 31st, they did not play baseball. It was a player strike. So obviously they didn't play the full 162 games. And the Brewers win the division. When you look at this, you think, yeah, they won the AL East, and they were in the American League at the time, obviously. You think, okay, they won the division. No, actually, it was the playoffs were set up where the team from the first half of the season, so up until June 12th, whoever had the best record, they would advance the playoffs. So that was the Yankees. And in the second half of the season, the Brewers had the better record, so that's what helped them advance the playoffs. So it ended up being the Brewers versus the Yankees in the playoffs. So it was kind of weird. I mean, you practically, if you win the first half of the season, you kind of don't have to play the second half or don't have to try as hard. So I think that's kind of weird. But what was Rollie Fingers' actual stats? Coming out of the bullpen, he had 6 wins, 3 losses. This is the magic number, 1.04 ERA. That blows my mind. In 47 appearances or 47 games, he finished 41 of those games, 28 saves out of 78 innings, and the 9 runs. That's amazing. 61 strikeouts, 13 walks. That gave him the Cy Young and the MVP. So let's break it down, actual month by month. I did this with baseball-reference.com. I'll link the website in the description. It's amazing to really fall down a rabbit hole with these baseball stats. It's incredible. So April, nothing crazy. Nothing like, oh, yeah, you know he's going to win this Cy Young and MVP. He gets 1 save. He loses a game. Gives up 1 run the entire month. That's 17 innings, 7 appearances, but the 6 walks, that's what really hurts, it seems like. 6 walks, but that is almost half of his total walks the entire year. He had 13 total walks. In the month of April alone, he only has 6, so I think that's crazy. But, like I said, it's not just the regular closer we know today where they're going, 1 inning, maybe 2 innings. He went up to he went up to 4 1/3 at one point. It's kind of sporadic. It's not just 1 inning. We got 1 inning, 3 2/3, 1, 2, 1 2/3. So I think that's cool as well. In May, that's where things start picking up a little for him. In May, he had a total of 8 saves. He had 3 blown saves, which hurt. He had 1 win and 1 loss. So yes, right here he blows the saves, but he gets the win here. He gets the loss there, so that sucks. But 5 total runs he gave up in May, 2 walks, again, keeping the walks down. That's what I love out of a closer. Out of anybody in the bullpen, that's what I love. 17 innings, 17 and a third innings, 13 appearances, only 5 runs, but May and April probably the worst months out of this campaign for the Cy Young in MVP season. So June only pitches 3 times and it's 6 innings. He gets a save each time though, so I think that's great. But that's the first half. Nothing special, nothing that's going to just blow you away. Yes, in June didn't give up a single run, only walked 1, but nothing too crazy. But once we get to August, I think that's when things really pick up. 15 innings, 10 appearances. He got 8 saves out of 10 appearances, 1 blown save, 1 win, 1 run in the entire month of August. In 15 innings, he gives us 1 run. 0 walks. That's what I love about it. And this is something that I think is amazing. So you see August 16th twice. You think, oh, did you make a mistake? Did baseball-reference mess up? No, they never mess up. He pitched in both games of the doubleheader and got saves in both games of the doubleheader. I think that's crazy. This is for days rest, -1 because he didn't have a day's rest. And he went 1 2/3 each time. That's amazing. If a manager today, I feel like, was like, hey, my closer pitched in game 1 of a doubleheader, I'm going to put him in game 2. I feel like he'd be taken to the back of the clubhouse and shot because that is just such a ridiculous idea. August was obviously a great month. Like I said, 15 innings, 1 run, and gets 8 saves out of the 10 appearances he makes. He does blow the save at the beginning, but this is when things really pick up. The second half is what got the Brewers into the playoffs. It had a lot to do with Rollie Fingers, obviously. So September and October, 22 2/3 innings, 2 runs he gives up. I think that's just insane. Those 14 appearances, 8 saves, gets 4 wins. So he blows these 2 saves here, but he gets the win. Like I said, 2 blown saves and the 1 loss. So just incredible run. He gives up 1 run right here, and then one run in the kind of at the end of September, and that's it. That's amazing to me. And if you go back here, this is something I need to talk about. If you go back to May, he gives up on May 9th and May 14th, and then again May 29th and May 30th. He gives up runs in back-to-back games. And here, that's the only time he gives up runs in back-to-back games. So only 2 times during the entire year did he give up a run in two straight appearances. And it was only 1 run, the 1 run here, and then 1 run here and 2 runs. The most runs he gives up the entire year in a single outing, in a single appearance, was 2. I think that's crazy as well. I mean, he's not giving up 3 or 4. He's not just totally losing games. Only 1 or 2 runs. So that's just insane to me. 78 innings, 9 total runs on the year. 28 total saves and 6 wins. So that's crazy. So let's kind of compare him to somebody in this same season, 1981. Who won the reliever of the year for the National League? It was Bruce Sutter. In May alone, now Bruce Sutter, he's a Hall of Fame pitcher. This is not a Bruce Sutter hate video. He went 82 1/3 innings, so he's pretty close to the 78 innings that Rollie Fingers did. But he gave up 24 total runs the entire year. So 24 to Rollie Fingers, 9. And in the month of May alone, he gives up 10 earned runs. Rollie Fingers the entire year gave up 9 runs. That blows my mind. And also, something I really want to hit on. In these games where he's getting saves, so right here he gets his 5th save, right here he gets his 8th save. He gave up runs. He gave up a run here for the 5th save, and he gave up 2 runs for the 8th save. So he gets the save, yes, but he gave up runs. In this year, when Rollie Fingers had 28 his saves, when he had 28 saves, each time that he got a save, he did not give up a run. So all 28 saves, he kept it 0 on the board, which I think is crazy. He had Bruce Sutter had a 2.62 ERA. Once again, to Rollie Fingers 1.04. So I think that just shows how incredible it was as well. Like I said, Fingers not giving up a run when he gets a save. I think that's an insane stat. Especially nowadays when I feel like just all these closers, even when they get saves, gives up runs. So for the Cy Young voting, Rollie Fingers was unanimous. If unanimous means he did not get all the votes. He got 22 first-place votes. Steve McCatty got 6. So why I think another big reason why this really isn't talked about, and maybe why it was just so easy he won the Cy Young, no starter really stands out. Yes, we have Steve McCatty and Jack Morris going 14-7. Both of them went that, but there's nothing crazy. I know a lot of people think Goose Gossage, that's Goose, obviously, if you don't know, was his nickname, should have been even closer with the Cy Young. He went 46.2 innings and gave up 4 total runs for a .77 ERA. But I guess with the voting, I guess they thought, almost double innings with Rollie Fingers. He went 78. Goose only went 46.2 thirds. So I guess that really stood up. But that needs to be talked about. I mean, come on. 0.77 ERA. I think that's crazy. But Rollie wins the Cy Young easily. MVP voting, that kind of got a little scarier for Rollie. 15 first place votes. Ricky Henderson, he gets on base, Moneyball reference. I mean, he does. 0.408 on base percentage, 319 batting average. I mean, 135 hits in a shortened season. That's crazy as well. So a lot of people think Henderson should have won the MVP. A lot of people even think Cecil Cooper could have won it. But no, Rollie Fingers gets the MVP as well, Cy Young MVP as a reliever. It blows my mind. So this was a total just love fest video for Rollie Fingers, winning the Cy Young, the MVP. I think the numbers are just insane. I mean, 1.04 ERA, 28 saves, not giving up a run when he gets a save. In only 2 times in the year did he give up runs in back-to-back games. I mean, in 2019, Josh Hader won the reliever of the year award, and there was a time where in 5 straight appearances he gave up a run, and it wasn't just like 1 or 2 runs. I think in one it was 4. So that's just insane. It's just Rollie Fingers. He's the best, obviously, one of the best closers in baseball history. So that's my video. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope you enjoyed this little class presentation, I guess. I'm hoping to do more of these with these statistics and with these stats breaking down stuff. So thanks so much for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed. And as always, have a great day.